When I landed here, let's say the impact with the local culture, local habits was pretty hard to manage. But then I got used little by little, and my plan was to stay here like 1 year and a half, just to stay here to gain more experience, and then to go back to my family, to my friends and stuff. Then after the first year, I said, let's give it a try for a second one, and then for a third one, then for a fourth one. And after 8, I'm still here and not actually willing to go back. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Podcast So. My guest today is Stefano Caramello. Stefan, welcome to Podcast So.
Thank you very
An
much.
honor to have you with me.
Glad to be here with you. Nice to have this chat with you.
Likewise. Stefan, man, I heard so much cool things about you, and I've read about you, and, I had a great, actually, conversation with my producer about Stefan. But let me tell you, I spent around maybe 20 minutes before the interview started. Awesome character. So I'm looking much forward to learning more about you and hearing also about your experience here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Stefan, first of all, tell me, man, what do you do for a living and how long you been here in Saudi Arabia?
I've been in Saudi since 8 years, and I'm a chef. I'm basically a chef. My specialty is, of course, Italian cuisine. And I work in a very nice environment, very nice company, and it's already my 5th or 6th company here in Saudi.
Wow.
Apparently I cannot get rid of it. No willing to go back. So far so good.
That's pretty cool. So you've been here 8 years approximately,
Correct.
right? Yeah. And of course, as a chef, let me tell you, Italian cuisines are one of the favorite, right? The most. We speak about elegant restaurants. You got to say, of course, the Italian cuisine, without a doubt. I'm sorry. When you speak about Italian food, the Italian cuisine always, comes as one of the always the elegant, places to go, the nice places to visit. Great food, and in Saudi Arabia, it's pretty famous here. Tell me about the approach, first of all. How did the idea of you coming here begin, and what was your reaction? What was your expectation? The whole story.
I was kidnapped while I was gardening my little farm in Italy. Actually, it's true. It's a true story. And I received this call with a weird number, and I answered.
It's a
and
true story.
Yes,
You were
it
literally
is.
kidnapped.
It is indeed. Yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
And so there was this girl on the other side of the phone, asking me if I was willing to try another working experience abroad, because I used to work abroad for many years. And I asked her, sorry, who are you? Because I have no idea who are you and where are you calling from, because I cannot recognize even the number. Said, my name is Sarah, I'm calling from Saudi Arabia and stuff. And Saudi Arabia, I said, what, Saudi Arabia? Where is Saudi Arabia? And then I started thinking about sand, camels, all this kind of stuff.
So that was 8 years ago. That was back in 2016, right?
Correct.
Okay,
It was
okay.
beginning of 2016. And I told myself, let's give it a try. I mean, if I survived till now, I will also in Saudi. Despite the fact everybody was saying, no, why the hell you should go in Saudi Arabia? You don't know what is happening there, and it's a dangerous place, and there are terrorists, and there was. Let's give it a try in any case. And when I landed here, let's say the impact with the local culture, local habits was pretty hard to manage. But then I got used little by little, and my plan was to stay here like 1 year and a half, just to stay here to gain more experience, and then to go back to my family, to my friends and stuff. Then after the first year, I said, let's give it a try for a second one, and then for a third one, then for a fourth one. And after 8, I'm still here and not actually willing to go back. So I have been kidnapped by the Saudi culture, let's say.
You're more than welcome. Now, I got to ask you this. You a lot of I heard this from a lot of guests, a lot of also, my foreign friends. They say that before we come here, we hear something like, no, there's this, there's that. I want to get that. When you first landed, what did you like? What surprise did you? What was your
I
expectation?
landed
And
here
what?
was end of September, if I'm not wrong, and it was still very hot. So coming from my city, from Torino, which is very humid and very cold after the summer, I landed here and I couldn't really breathe properly. It was a kind of weird sensation because you cannot understand people and you
Yeah, yeah.
cannot
At that time,
even
yeah.
understand what is going on around you. But I don't. Is everything was new, and whatever is new is capture your interest. Is something that makes work in your brain, your imagination.
Absolutely.
And actually, it was right, because at the end of the day, I really enjoyed my stay in here, and I keep enjoying daily.
Absolutely.
You know what? We're talking about people saying like don't go to that place.
Yeah,
Blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
It's actually very true. Every time there is some friends of mine, they are opening new restaurants. They are looking for staff, specialized staff, chefs from Italy or whatever. So I'm calling my community and my colleagues, my former colleagues in Italy, to tell them there is this opportunity here in Saudi Arabia. There is a very nice international environment, blah, blah, blah. It's a good pay and good benefits and a very nice lifestyle, whatever. And they say, what is it? In Dubai? I say, no, it's in Riyadh, in Saudi. No, in Saudi, no, I cannot. There is anything in Dubai? No, come to Saudi, Habibi. Habibi, come to Saudi.
Saudi.
They said, no, sorry. Saudi is too dangerous. My son, my eldest son now is 21. And he came to visit me on last September. He spent 1 month with me. He has been enthusiastic about Riyadh, about the Saudi lifestyle. But until he was 18, his mother didn't allow him to visit me. Can you believe it? Because every time he has a passport, just carry him on a plane, and I will pay somebody to drag him here just to spend some time with me. She said, no. It's very dangerous. There are terrorists. There is bombing right and left. I said, no, this is our place. That's Europe. Here there is nobody bombing. But anyway, I finally managed to bring my son here, and he enjoyed very much.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. How was his reaction when he first came here? What was like things that
The first thing he started asking was about what he was allowed to do and what was not allowed to do.
yeah.
So what do you mean? So I can walk, I can say hi to people. Yes,
You can say
we
hi,
have human beings also here in Saudi. So can I I don't know look at people in the eyes? Yes, you can shake hands. You can do whatever whatever you want.
Yeah.
In the respectful way, of course. But yes.
I think there's a lot of stereotyping, or I would say
Correct,
also
yes. Misinformation.
misinformation a lot. I think now it's been quite fixed, right? I mean, the exposure that the kingdom is getting now, right? What we're seeing here, I think it's quite fixed. But why do you believe is that? Why is it the whole region, or is it, is it like why is like I heard that many times, and when they come here, they're like, "Whoa, man, this is totally different.
Yeah,
life is
correct.
it's normal."
I
It's like,
seriously have no idea, because I don't even myself when I've been contacted from Saudi for the very first time, I had no idea about what was going on here. So I just gave it a try because I was curious about that. But a lot of my friends and family, they have this perception that Saudi is a weird place, a dangerous place, or whatever. Yeah, but have no idea how.
Yeah. Now I want to go about the fact that you're 8 years, Italian chef living in Saudi Arabia. Tell me about your community, people you hang out with, your friends.
I spend a lot of time at work. I
Yeah.
have to say a lot of time.
Yeah.
But for sure, we have our close community of friends, and mainly are Italian professionals, and their companion, of course, their wives, their husbands, and whatever. Mainly are people working for construction, engineering, and for metro project,
Of course.
and these huge projects all around the city, and a lot of guys from working for the embassy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all of them after let's say 3 years, they come here in a mission for the embassy. After 3 years, they are obliged to go back to Rome
True.
and stuff. And it's actually sad because you meet a lot of nice people,
Yeah,
you spend a lot of nice time together, you enjoy, and then suddenly poof, they have to leave.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, this is what we experience all the time, all the time.
Yeah. I think there's a good number of Italian also community here.
Yes, when I came
can,
here first, we were very few,
Yeah.
and now we are, I believe, thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend that works at the Ministry of Sports. Ministry of Sports. I have also another one, as you said, also in the metro. Maybe we have mutual friends we don't know
For
about.
sure.
We'll talk about that for sure. See, you know, Siba. Did I say Siba? I'm sorry. Stefano.
Correct.
Stefano. That's the correct.
Stefano.
Stefano. I don't know. Yeah, me and names. I'm bad with names, by the way. I always.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I have hard
because
time
I'm
pronouncing
used
my
with
name.
it. I'm used with my name, with my Italian names. But,
Yeah.
but it's true that everybody is doing the same mistake. Apparently, it's not easy.
So, Stefano, how is it? You like here, as I'm sure you work at a very, all the different companies, huge restaurants, mixing up or mingling with the Saudi culture, introducing to them also that
We have a few adjustments in the
Oh,
food. Of course,
okay.
you cannot serve real Italian food to the local community. Of course not. Mainly because first we use a lot of pork. A lot, everywhere. We put pork everywhere. Believe me, when you go in Italy and they say, no, absolutely, this is, there is
some.
everywhere,
Okay.
everywhere.
Thank you for
And,
telling us, man. Good to know.
Be ready. You can go for Mecca a couple of times more and coming back in order to purify yourself. But for sure they will catch you with that, and a lot of wine and stuff. Of course. Other than that, we eat raw food, a lot of raw food, which is not really what the local people loves. And what else? Everything is related to to the doneness of the meat, doneness of the pasta.
Well done. It has to be well done.
Everything has to be well done. Everything. So it's something that we normally don't eat.
do
That
all
you
like
have to do. You are obliged. You close your eyes and you do it anyway because this is how local people. But
True.
we are trying to recreate as much as we can, of course. We have
Absolutely.
to match with the local taste.
I know, and what is the most famous Italian, food or cuisine?
Food, I believe whatever is related to pasta is generally very much appreciated.
Spaghetti with meatballs.
We don't have spaghetti with
That's-
meatballs in Italy, you see.
That's also a rumor.
This
This is also rumors
the
that
misinformation. Misinformation. This is kind of American, like Alfredo pasta.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I came
It's
here,
not-
they asked me for Alfredo pasta. I had to Google it.
It's not Italian.
It's not. It's not. I believe there is this.
I blame the
this
movie The
fairy tale.
Godfather.
Yeah, but there is this fairy tale that says that there was this guy Alfredo in Rome that he made this pasta
And the name
for
is
his sick
Italian,
wife.
so it makes sense.
The name is
Okay.
Italian, no
Yeah,
doubts on it.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know. I learned what the pasta Alfredo about here in Saudi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So there's no spaghetti with
Meatballs.
It's not Italian.
There is spaghetti and there are meatballs.
There's just meatball,
There are
but
two
there's no
different
such
dishes.
thing. This is an American,
Correct. Yes.
let me say add or extra that they added to the whole
Exactly.
thing. Very, very, very interesting. So what about the pizza? It's Italian.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Pizza is Italian, 100%.
Yes, it is. Wherever you go in Italy, you find
Yeah.
the pizza store, pizza
And the espresso.
stuff. Absolutely.
And
yes.
the coffee, yeah. Let me tell you, man, the Italian pizza is top notch. Top notch.
You know what I'm enjoying very much?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but you know what kind of domino pizza, this kind of stuff, because it's so much different from the Italian one, And even where I work, we are doing an excellent pizza.
Yeah.
But when you want something different, something that is not really excited how it has to be,
Yeah.
you go for this kind of stuff that is totally different.
Yeah.
People may criticize the item, but at the end, it's something different.
It's different.
For
Huh?
us, it's
It's a
totally
lot
another
different.
dish.
Okay.
So
Because you know, some of the Americans would argue, would say, you know what, pizza, by the way, yes, it's Italian, but we have our own American pizza, I would say as well.
that's a
Too.
correct statement.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because it's totally different. So in order to, for example, I'm in love with the mandi. The
Mandi, yeah,
mandi.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crazy for mandi. I could eat mandi for days and days in a row.
Really interesting.
But it's nothing to see with the Italian food, the Italian
True,
culture.
true.
I'm quite tired about Italian food.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
I mean, you eat it a lot,
if,
you know.
yeah, if
But it's
we're born and raised eating pasta, eating Italian food, you reach a point that
Yeah.
you're just willing to switch.
So you want to try something different. You're born and raised in Italy in Torino.
In Torino, correct.
In Torino, yeah. And then, so tell me about your story, man. So you were born in Italy, Torino, and then how did you become a chef? And until to the point where you had to move to Saudi Arabia. I know you've been all over Europe also as well.
I was actually, this is an interesting story. I was still studying, of course, before my bachelor, and I needed basically money.
You studied how to be a chef. Was that like your
No,
education?
it was a kind of natural drop. I actually been thrown inside the F&B from a friend of mine because we needed basically some cash for the weekend to go on vacation after during the summer break and this kind of stuff. So the easiest way to collect some cash was to work in a restaurant. So I have been pulled by this friend of mine who said, come. I know this restaurant. They need the stuff. So I started working during weekends, of course, to collect some cash, some money. And then they asked me to work 1 day more per week, 2 days more per week, and I was keep studying in the meantime. For sure, my results at the end were not so great, but I was really enjoying. During the day I was going to school, and during the evenings and during the weekends I was working. I was sleeping at school, of course, but at a certain point I was kind of admiring those guys behind the kitchen that they were running the whole restaurant basically, and I used to work at the beginning as a waiter, okay. So once I got graduated,
you weren't like
Yeah,
it
but-
wasn't on your mind to actually become like a chef.
no, I saw my father working in F&B for 42 years, and my willing was not to become like him. Not because he was not a great model, he was absolutely, but he spent all his life working. That's it, 24 hours per day working, not a vacation, not a trip, not nothing. So he just worked to provide whatever was needed for the family needs. So I wanted to enjoy a little bit more. And at the end, I ended up like him, you see. That was a kind of destiny. So after a while, once I got graduated, I had the opportunity to move in the back of the house, to move in the kitchen because they needed stuff. I told myself, why not? Let's learn something more. And this is why I'm here. Basically, I never
Wow.
left the kitchen since.
Wow.
And
And I believe you become passionate about it too. Like you
Absolutely,
start
yes.
learning and then
you can only do that because of passion. You have no other reason.
True.
You will never become billionaire, and this is the only thing that makes you carrying.
No,
carrying
I think chefs makes. I mean, on this, they make good money.
Sure,
you guys,
sure, it's good
you're
money,
doing
but
good, yeah.
again, I will never become billionaire. Believe me.
And there's a lot of like now chef also famous these famous chefs or social media chefs
Absolutely.
like what's his name?
Like
There's two
celebrity chefs,
celebrity chefs. Yeah,
but it's like Gordon Ramsay.
yeah,
and
yeah.
these kind of
He's almost a
people.
billionaire. He's almost a billionaire.
Of
He's
course,
almost,
of course, yeah.
So
No, they are funny people, perhaps,
Yeah.
and you have to born that way.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to have the right character to
True,
show off
true.
like that.
Do chefs have to be? Is it like true what we see on TV? Like, do chefs have to be really always serious all the time? And
It depends. We
like
say
like you saw the personality of what's his name?
no. There is
Ramsey. Is
you
that
know,
how the
we
chef
are,
should
we
be?
are
or-
very straight people. We are very straight people, and it's like a military life practically inside the kitchen. So and there is a time for laugh. for laughing, for fun times, and there is a time to work hard, you know. And the majority of people, they recognize exactly when it's time to play and when it's time to work.
Sure.
Sometimes somebody, misunderstand the right time. So yeah, that's the moment when the heat comes up.
Yeah. The chef.
When the ambience got heated a little bit. When
Sure.
you see chefs throwing pans and knives and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It's a part of the game.
It happens.
Of
yeah.
course, yes.
Absolutely. Like anything in life, it does. Absolutely. Let me ask you. I want to know about the similarity between the Saudi culture and Italian culture. Because one thing I noticed as well too is people. A lot of my Italians, right? They come here. Our culture is a bit. I think we have some things in common. Family, like I saw it. How you were speaking.
Our attachment
passionately.
about the family.
Exactly. Family is very
sister,
important.
Of course, yes.
The father,
That
the
first
mother,
of
the
all.
brother, sister is
I think
is
the
very-
similarity is more. You feel it more when you move toward the south. The south of Italy is way more similar to the Arabic culture rather than my place, rather than the north of Italy. But it's true that there are regions like Sicily. They have been dominated by Arabs for centuries, and they still have in their culture a lot of food habit, words, way of expression.
Interesting. In Sicily itself. Wow.
Yes, absolutely,
Very interesting.
absolutely. And they have a lot of, let's say, Arabic words. We share a lot of words. Italian vocabulary and the Arabic vocabulary, we don't share the same grammar, but we share the same words. Like the pantalon, all this kind of
Pantalon,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
plenty.
Yeah. Is it easier? Let's say, like you were in Europe, right? Like you were in France and England, I think,
Correct.
before you came here. What are the difference that you saw? Like, because you were there.
Between-
Why did you say okay? No, I'll say 8 years between living there, working there, people there, communicating, and Saudi Arabia. Like if someone asked you, said, you've been all over Europe.
So you mean for
But you
myself,
decided to base
living
here.
abroad in Europe and living abroad
Exactly.
in Saudi?
Yeah.
Here I feel more, I can say, when I think about home, wherever I am, if I think about home, I think about Riyadh. It's weird, but my family will kick my butt for years for that. But when I think about home is where my underwears are. All my underwears are in my closet in Riyadh. And my life is in Riyadh. My girlfriend's in Riyadh. My cat and whatever is related to my, let's say, work. My
Yeah.
life is in Riyadh. So I enjoy my time with my family. Absolutely, yes, with my friends, my childhood friends. But home is here. Home is here. Work is here. My serious.
And
let's
your
say,
family
like-
come visit you sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
they
I think
come and go. They
yeah.
come and go. Absolutely.
They come and go, and it's easier.
Friends and family, they very often visit, and it's always a pleasure. And I'm very proud to show them around.
Yeah.
Whatever is related to the place where I live, I'm very proud of Riyadh, perhaps.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
And the
no.
difference in between is that
Yeah.
in Europe everything is easier. Whatever you want, whatever is reachable, easily reachable. And here you have to, how can I say, fight a little bit for whatever you need. This makes the life here way more interesting, way more attractive. And Italians you meet in Europe is not really the people you would love to have as a neighbor, right? But the Italian community, believe me,
One second.
the Italian community here in Saudi is fantastic.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It's lovely.
So it's like you mean like a different Italians?
Absolutely, yes. Different social structure, for sure.
The one in Europe than the one in here. I want to also go to a point, about the changes. You've been here since 2016, right? So you saw
Correct. And it was
since the
still-
beginning of Vision 2030, I believe. So you saw the development, the changes.
I remember
How was-
perfectly
how-
these
how
funny
was- how was
guys
your
with
reaction?
the stick beating up people in the middle of the street. So funny, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny maybe because I never been beaten.
Yeah.
This is why. But it was
Yeah.
kind of something that you can't tell friends.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
that you cannot imagine what I've seen today.
Yeah.
But now everything is pretty normal.
How do you see these change? Like, there's so much things that happened, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but I didn't feel it
You
because
didn't
it was a
feel it.
gradual.
So to you, it was
changement,
always the
you know?
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
correct.
always-
For me, it's quite for us is something that is a part of the 2030 vision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but for them is I mean for everybody something
It's
huge.
big, it's
Of
huge.
course it is.
When they
All
see
the
the
projects they
sport,
are
the
popping up, they are
projects,
fantastic.
Neum,
But-
Red Sea, all
but
of
we are
these.
used with it. I mean, whoever lives in Saudi, we are used with it,
Yeah,
with these
yeah.
big news announcements or whatever. And but for them, it's something out of ordinary.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think, Stefano, like the Saudi Arabia has always been logged as, oh, they have oil, money, and then that's...
This is what my perception
yeah,
before coming here,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And here, the first time I saw oil implant was last year.
First
After
time.
7 years, for the first time, I saw. I didn't even know because my idea was they are extracting oil from
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the desert or whatever,
Yeah.
and then later on I discovered that is more in the seaside.
It's a
and stuff
different,
like
yeah, different kind of thing. I remember, people be like, yeah, so you got like, you have like oil barrels at your house? Like, no, man, I wish, I know, absolutely not. It's a totally different thing, and like when you speak about all these changes that are currently happening, like, I'm sure you saw many also of the, I think the Coppa Italia final or the
Super Cup.
The Super Cup, I think
Yes,
was played here a
absolutely.
couple of times.
Every year
right?
they are playing here the Super Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, since last 2 years, we
Yeah.
haven't had the Juventus in as a guest over
They
here.
didn't come yet, Juventus?
No, they didn't perform back in Italy, so for sure was no part
Oh,
of.
I know you're a big Juve fan.
Of
so,
course I am, of
So,
course I
so
am.
yeah, yeah. Maybe next year. Hopefully this year they will.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. You learned a couple of words. How's your Arabic, by the way?
Very bad, very bad, horrible. I have no more space.
To learn, I mean, to learn new language, it's kind of
No, kind of
a hustle sometimes.
No, for me, it's kind of impossible nowadays. I mean, I can interact somehow with gesture stuff. I actually speak Italian, French, and English. No more space.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
To add the fourth
I don't
language.
live-
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Please enough. Please good. And a lot of the people here speak fluent English. Like it's easy to communicate. Like English is not, a big part of the of the country speaks English, so you don't face a
Absolutely.
hard time in communicating.
Even though, if not really everybody speaks English, but somehow you can find a way to
Yeah.
communicate.
You understand,
Here,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
people here is always very propositive. Very, I mean, they are willing to help you in any case. So they get mad in order to help you out with whatever is your issue.
Was that not expected to you to find such a very hospitable, I would say, also society, a very engaging society, a very friendly, peaceful society?
Correct.
Was that kind of like, this is very
It's a kind of
action, I get-
surprise.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
I
Compared
really
to
didn't expect.
what you hear, yeah.
I thought that it was something way more close. I thought that coming here I was kind of emarginated, like left in a corner just in order to do my job, and that's it, squeezing myself. But no, well, I was totally wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I'm still
Yeah.
here, because I'm enjoying very much whatever
Nice.
is surrounding
Nice.
myself.
Nice. I have to ask you about security, safety.
It's 8 years I don't close my car.
You never close your car.
I
the
park my
Dominican.
car here in the street. But I didn't close it. I don't close my car when I go to work, when I go to shopping, when I go to home. It's 8 years. I don't even know how to close my car.
Do you tell when you tell people this, like back in the West in general? How is the reaction?
In Italy, it's impossible to do something like that. It's way above our imagination. If you forget to lock your car, after 5 minutes you find no car. So
That would be funny. That would be kind of. I mean, not funny the person that happened to, but yeah. I mean, there's also. I mean, there's a lot of
no, but
amazing.
it's a big issue when I go back, because I have the same habit to leave the key inside and the car open.
Yeah.
It's very risky. It's very risky indeed.
I mean, it depends on where you are, right? Like in Italy. Yeah.
Yes, but more or less is the same. Is the same everywhere.
You know, well, you know, put a iPhone reminder. You know, take the key out of the car.
Correct.
But you know, I think there's always been an exchange. Like, see, a lot of Saudis go to Italy, summer vacation. You know, Rome,
Like
Milan,
90% of my customers,
Venice, whatever. Yeah,
they
you
have
know,
already traveled to Italy
they've
several
traveled
times.
several times, right?
They
And
know Italian places better than myself.
And they love. I mean, you know, the Italian culture has been always very, I would say, close for some reason. I don't know why, but it's very easy.
To get along
find
with.
that's how I find it. You know, and very honest, like the American culture too as well. But the Italians, I find it was always easy for me to get along with them. I remember I had a couple of Italian friends when I was in the States, and you know, until to this day we're friends. It was very easy for us to bond, and I think the
Absolutely, yes.
principles are almost, you know, the same. The family part, you know, the what is it called?
But other than that, even
The pride.
when we are outside,
Yeah.
for example, we like the company. We like company of friends.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
easy to mingle. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Italy's like a bit like there's Europe and there's Italy. I think Italy's like its own. It's Italy. Italy's Italy. You know, there's
It's
Europe.
particular.
Yeah. Yes.
Really particular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
a side planet. It's an Italian moon.
It's beautiful, man. Let me tell you, I'm a big fan. You know, I enjoy.
Listen, it's a very nice place where to spend your vacation, where to have fun. Well, it's not that easy to live in. It's not that easy because you
from
know
eco-
the
economic
economical
perspective.
situation from the economical side is not that relaxed, and you have to face a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of taxes, a lot of daily issues. You enjoy the place very much when you are in vacation.
I understand.
When you have your spare time, you spend your spare time over there. It's not really a great place where to work, where to build something with.
I understand. You know, and that also recalled me. So during COVID, you were here in Saudi Arabia, right?
Sorry, say again.
When COVID happened.
Yeah, no. I got stuck. I was already here, of course. I went back for a wedding of a friend of mine on
Okay.
was end of January. No, it was end of February 2020. And because that friend of mine was willing to get married on 29th of February.
Oh my
so
God.
He's a bit stingy, so he wanted to celebrate his wedding anniversary once every 4 years.
Yeah, she's smart. Huh? He wants that.
Exactly. So we went there, and of course, we attended the wedding. We had fun, and so we met a lot of friends and family. And my return ticket was for the 8th of March. Was already booked. On the 7th of March, they closed everything. So I got stuck over there for 6 months and 6 days, and that was a big drama. Because even though there was lockdown in Italy, lockdown in Saudi,
like
and it was
everywhere.
basically the same bad situation in both,
the world,
both
yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
But I was always in my mind. I was always at work, you know. So I was
You were
trying
s-
to manage.
You were still
also the-
working during COVID too, huh?
yeah. How? I mean, I was working with the telephone calls, with the WhatsApp, with whatever. But I mean, I was not present anyway.
yeah, of
I was
course.
feeling very much guilty about that, even though it was not my fault at all because
Of
I
course,
got
of
stuck.
course, it's
And,
the bad fault, you know, the bad.
you know, in the
COVID
morning,
fault.
I was supposed to fly back in the morning around 5 a.m. So around 3 a.m., I called the airport to ask if I could have been able to fly to Saudi. They told me, yeah, sure, no problem. Because from Torino, from my city, you have to fly to Rome, stop over in Rome, then direct
Rome,
fly to
direct
Riyadh.
to Riyadh. Oh
Yes.
my God.
So they told me, yeah, sure, no problem. Just come over to the airport, and we arrange everything. Everything is not clear, but it's fine. So they carried everything on the plane, and they sent me to Rome. When in Rome, when I faced the Saudi check-in, they told me, where are you going? I said, to Riyadh. You're going nowhere. Saudi Arabia is closed. How can I go back to Torino now? And he said, this is not my problem.
Oh
So there was
my
the Italian
God.
company throwing the fault to Saudi, and Saudi throwing the fault to the Italian company. So they would start fighting, blah, 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 blah. And by law, they are obliged to send me back. So they were just fighting for to find you know
a way how
the
to get
guy
him.
the guy who will pay my ticket back.
Yeah.
So finally the Italians lost badly, and they had to pay my ticket back, and I
my
got stuck
God.
there for 6 months and 6 days. Horrible, horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these days are gone, and I'm sure, now after we came back, I'm sure it was also like another reunion. Another also.
When I came back, I was 93 kilo. Can you believe it?
You
I was
you,
90.
you gained weight.
In Italy, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
We were in lockdown. The only thing you can do is partying and barbecuing and stuff like that. What can you do? You cannot go to work. You cannot get out from your village. Of course.
How was that like? You first came back, and then you're like, okay, now things are smooth,
Very
life is
much
good.
relaxing, very much
Yeah.
relaxing. My cats were still alive.
Thank God.
The car was still there because
The car
we
was
are going
still
back
there.
to the topic of
Yeah, the
security.
safety,
Nobody
yeah.
steals anything. So my car was still there. The motorbike was there. My cats were still alive. Khalas, say I'm back home.
Awesome. That alone is a blessing, to be honest. Like that alone. A lot of people always speak to me about what he, because I lived abroad myself too, and I lived in the States for a while too, and I have the faith. I'm a Saudi, of course, so, I'm a proud, very, very, very proud Saudi, and I love my country a lot. But some people tell me, well, you used to live in the States, in LA or Santa Monica or in Chicago, and then here, and then they would ask me, what is the one thing that you think also, would without a doubt tell you this is the place to be? I would tell them, man, the prosperity, the peace, and the security.
Correct.
This alone to me is a blessing that people sometimes we take for granted as local as Saudis. But
Yeah, because
people
you're used
come-
with it.
Yeah, they appreciate it. They appreciate
Absolutely.
it a lot. And
The fact that every time you travel outside of Saudi, you have to mind about your own wallet, your backpack and stuff. It's really stressful. Here you have peace of mind at least.
yeah.
True.
Absolutely. Before I conclude, I gotta ask you, about also, what do you want to do, Stefano? Like, what are your main goals now, ambitions? Also, we didn't get introduced much. The viewers and I, we didn't learn more about you from family side. Married, you have kids. Tell us.
I have two
tell
kids.
us
I used
about
to be
that.
married. I used to be
Yeah.
married, and I have two kids, two
You have
boys.
two kids, two boys.
One is 21 and a half, and the other one is almost 9.
Wow. I gotta tell you, man, you look very young. I gotta tell you this.
Thank you very much.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing
Sorry,
it.
but I'm already engaged. But I have my girlfriend here, and
Nice.
we are having a pretty good
Is she
life.
Italian or
No, she's Kazakh.
Kazakhstan?
From Kazakhstan.
Interesting.
Yes,
Very
yes,
interesting.
absolutely. We met here a long time ago.
A chef too as well? Or?
No. It's related to hospitality somehow, but no.
And
she's
you met
not.
here in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Very nice.
Absolutely, yes.
Very nice.
And no, nothing. We are trying to
How is
build
that
up
like?
our life together peacefully. You know, how can I explain you?
Did you expect that
This
that you would meet your future wife here? You come here to the kingdom.
No, I couldn't
Meet-
really
meet your
expect
future wife,
after
yeah.
after kind of failing two marriages. I was not really willing to find myself to throw myself in another kind of relationship, but happened. We met, and I'm very happy about that. And we are building up our future
Nice,
together,
nice,
of course.
nice.
And of course, also herself, like myself, we are not planning to leave any soon. We are very comfortable here. First of all, we met here, and it's a kind of how can I say headquarter for us,
Yeah.
because everything started from
it
Riyadh.
it began
as being
here, so an
built up
anniversary.
from in Riyadh. So we just keep going as much
Very
as we
nice.
can.
Very nice. Very nice.
We are, both of
I
us,
wish you all the best.
we are tennis players, both of us.
Oh, okay. So
we are
there's a lot of
enjoying
things in
very
common.
much. Yes,
And do you practice like all these activities that they like to do? Where do you practice it? Like, do you find
in our compounds.
in your
In our
compounds?
compounds, we have facilities, and we are playing there.
Very cool. A question that would pop in mind, they would say, activities to do, things to let's say also, Like when you would say you want to enjoy yourself, do you go camping? Do you sometimes try like
No,
try
she's
the local,
very much
very local
involved
thing?
with the hiking. She
Hiking, nice.
loves
Okay, okay.
hiking very much.
Here
I don't.
in
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, okay.
I prefer going to the pool, chilling, and this kind of stuff. She likes
Yeah, yeah.
sweating very much. So
Yeah, yeah.
please be my guest.
Yeah, yeah.
She also needs her space.
And it's here in Riyadh, right?
Yeah, of
In
course.
Riyadh, they do it in Riyadh.
Absolutely.
I think there's a couple of also places like for hiking here that are very famous.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Every time, every week, they change the place. They always, I see the pictures, and
Nice.
they are always able to find beautiful places,
Activities.
beautiful spots.
So activities to do, was it easy for you to find? Or let's say the past 3-4 years, there's now a lot more activities than ever before. Was it easy for you to learn about or?
Yes, yes. Actually, you can find everything very easily. Any kind of information you need, and we have these groups like I don't know, Italians in KSA, or I don't know,
Nice.
Kazakh in Middle East, or whatever it is, and they are very helpful. You know, whenever you ask something, there is something popping up to your mind. There is always somebody. Willing to help, willing to address
Very
you
cool.
to the
Very
right way.
cool.
You know, it's pretty easy, everything.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, man. You know, like just alone, you know what I mean? You know, like after a while, when you say your story, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go back and say about your story, and then from here to here, and now to Saudi Arabia, and now I have this totally different, I would say also. I'm living the same. So you're living the same lifestyle that you always lived. You can say.
You know, I have the same perception. We are having the same perception actually.
Yeah.
Is for us is even weird when we go outside. When we go outside of Saudi, and we find the time to criticize even where the place where you go, even to spend your vacation and stuff, because it's not up to Saudi standards. You know what I mean? We have a very good quality of life, even though we are not living in a royal palace or whatever, but here is home. You know, so whatever we create by ourselves,
I'm happy
and
for you,
we
man.
have this kind of familiar environment. So
I'm very happy.
Anyway, we are very comfortable, very comfortable.
I'm very happy for you, Stefan. I wish you all the best. You know, I'm sure you'll do great. Continue enjoy life. There's one secret that I did not tell you before the interview began. I said I will tell him at the end. I am an Inter fan, by the way. I support Inter Milan. You know, I didn't want to tell you
I
in
knew
the
there was
beginning.
something that
I was
was telling
scared
me
that you
I
might
would
leave.
not
You
have
know,
to
but
come.
I said I had to tell.
Seriously, what's wrong with you?
I
mean,
told you.
there
You know,
are so many teams to choose between.
You know how it began. You know, I was a Baggio fan, right? I think it was back in the since the World Cup. So when he moved to Inter, I think it was in 1997.
Who's this? Baggio.
Baggio, 1998. So whatever Baggio plays for, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, it's like my girlfriend with Ronaldo. Before
And
she
then
used
I
to-
became an Inter fan my whole life.
Oh,
you
come
know?
on.
So since '98, I've been an Inter fan. But you won already so much. So now it's time, for
You know, we
for the
have
rest.
won almost everything for like 10
Yeah.
years in a row,
Yeah, yeah.
9 years actually.
For a
and
while.
then we got used with it, and
Yeah.
then going back to the, let's say, normal activity, and Juventus went back to being like a normal team. It's not that funny
competitive.
anymore.
But you're playing in the World Cup, in the FIFA World Cup, in 2025 in the US. From Italy, the two teams that qualify.
25.
Yeah.
Juventus. you're
Yeah,
talking about.
Juventus.
Yeah.
They are playing the FIFA World
Of
Cup.
course.
Inter Milan and Juventus.
Club World Cup.
Yeah,
yes.
Club World Cup. And Al Hilal too, by the way. And there's also
Nasser, nothing?
Nasser, no. Nasser, they didn't make it. They
How
didn't make
much
it.
I would enjoy seeing Juventus kicking Ronaldo. Oh, my goodness.
And he played for Juventus.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course
yeah.
he did. This
How
is
was
why.
How was that time like?
That time, I mean, during the period we had Ronaldo in our team, for sure was.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then when he left, it was kind of. I mean, the way he left was a kind of sad way.
I think he left post 2021, right? He went to Manchester.
We had quite a few issues in the team, in between the manager and the team itself, the senators. But I don't know. His decision was to leave and to go back. Actually, he didn't even came here straight away, but he went to Manchester United first.
Yeah, and then he had the
And
issue
then
there,
he
and then he
And
came
then he
here.
had also issues over there. He will never find peace, this guy. Never, never, never. He had the opportunity to stay in Juventus.
Yeah. You would have loved that, yeah. So, unfortunately, Nasser did not make it to the World Cup, so most likely you will not be playing them. But when you see sports here, like, these kind of sports, soccer, you see all these big names, Ronaldo, Neymar coming. Even before, like, the PIF got involved, we had the Italian player like
Giovinco.
Yeah. We had also, I think, if you go back 14 years ago, you know who came played here?
No.
Roberto Donadoni.
Donadoni used to play in Saudi.
In 2000, he played for
I thought he was.
Al-Ittihad.
I thought he was in.
For 1 year.
Al-Ittihad is Jeddah.
In Jeddah, believe it or not. So before even that, but I think he came at the end of his career. It was in 2000, 2099 or 2000, something like that. He played for Al-Ittihad for 1 year. And when you see all these big names coming here, Neymar, Ronaldo, Benzema, now Cancelo's coming, Mane, Brozovic.
Juventus is another former Juventus player.
Another
by the
former
way.
player
Yes,
is coming
correct.
also. Brozovic enter a play. I mean, a lot of the Italian,
Juventus tried to make a Milinkovic-Savic signing for years and years in a row. And we never got him. And finally decided to move from Lazio, decided to move directly from to Hilal.
To Hilal, Manovic, yeah. He's a
Wonderful player, that
decent
guy.
player,
Oof.
very, very decent. Just
Himself and
top-notch.
Mitrovic, they are really something different. Huh?
Yeah.
The good thing is it's going to be a very good, how can I say, football school for the Saudi players as well.
Absolutely.
Because one thing is you grow yourself, but you have no way to compare your performance with others. But when you see on your pitch, when you see this kind of player, the only thing comes to my mind is to perform like they do.
Yeah.
I believe it's something that will motivate even more the local football.
And there's a Saudi player who's now going to Roma. Saud Abdul Hamid. Now he's going to play for AS Roma as well too.
So he's a Saudi player.
He's a Saudi player. He's an Al Hilal player. He's moving this year to play for Roma. It's
a
part,
surprise.
I think, of the
It's
coach.
a weird migration, perhaps.
The coach De Rossi.
Yes.
He's the one that chose him. And our coach here is Italian, Roberto Mancini.
Of course.
So he nominated. He's doing a thing like a campaign to make Saudi players play abroad before the World Cup, and
all Roberto Mancini and all this stuff. We are very.
He's a hero, huh? He won the Euros.
Of course, but other than that, he is a very high-profile professional.
Absolutely.
That guy, we have a veneration for that guy. It's not for the result he achieved. It's because he's a great person himself.
Absolutely.
And he is a very straight guy.
You can tell. You can tell. And I saw the Minister of Sports interview maybe around, I think it was 10, 12 days ago. He's speaking very highly about him, about his mindset.
Absolutely.
And
since he was very young, when he started his career, I remember very well back in Sampdoria, when he used to play in Sampdoria. We never ever heard anything, weird about him. Never.
True.
He had exemplar career. His career should be taught in the schools, in the football schools.
Exactly. Yeah. Very simple. And his coaching career too has been.
Absolutely.
Whether it was with Inter Milan, with Italy, with Manchester City, he accomplished, a lot of great things. And
finally with the Italian national team.
The final two with
what he did for the European Cup.
He won the Euro with the Italian national
Yes,
team.
correct.
He won. He beat England, and
in their own home.
Yeah, in their own home.
Scamming home.
Yeah, it did not. Yeah,
we enjoyed
it's
so
going to
much.
Rome. But I remember Bonucci's goal, man. Was just top notch. I'm also, by the way, when it comes into let's say, if Saudi Arabia is not playing in the World Cup, my team would be Italy. So in 2006,
we are following the Saudi national team everywhere.
Yeah.
We have been in Qatar. We have been in Jordan. Of course, when they play all around the kingdom, we always go.
Did you see the game against Argentina?
When they won 1-0.
Yeah. 2-1.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't go to the stadium.
Did you? It was a big shock. Like the whole world was shocked.
You know what? Not really. Not really, because at the beginning, even before the match, days before the match, for 90% of the world, Argentina was already winning everything, you know.
True.
So the fact that they jumped into the pitch with the idea they were already winning. I mean, they were not even. Was not the case to start playing in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
When the Saudi scored, when Saudi won the match,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it
That
very
was fun.
much.
That was fun. I remember that day. It was like, you know, it was just. I mean,
Those guys, they were
I
like
had a
national
feeling-
heroes.
Absolutely. I mean, you beat the world champions. We beat the
Yeah.
world champion. We Messi and the world champion. Well, by the way, Messi, I think he's originally Italian, right? They say he's originally from Italy.
It could be.
They
Half
s-
of
they
Argentinians
s-
are
yeah,
half,
originally.
half Italian, half Germans. You know?
Oh, okay. Because I know Cameronese.
Cameronese,
Cameronese.
yes.
He's originally from Argentina, and then vice versa. Paulo Dybala, I heard too. So I don't know. It's
Paulo Dybala is pure Argentinian.
he's pure Argentine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not a fact.
Another former Juventus player.
Another former events.
Of course.
A lot.
We could
a lot.
continue for days. and
Was
days in a
was
row.
Rossi? Did he?
De
play for
Rossi?
you?
No. De Rossi
No,
was
no, not De
was
Rossi.
born and
Giuseppe Rossi. I'm speaking about.
Giuseppe Pepito.
S-
No, he was playing for Fiorentina.
Fiorentina. Okay. He didn't play for
No, for
UOB.
Juventus. No.
The player that won the World Cup in '82. Because there's two Rossi, right? There's Rossi the father.
That's
and
Paolo
there's the son.
Rossi.
Paolo Rossi.
Paolo
Paolo
Rossi.
Rossi.
Yes,
I'm
he
sorry.
passed
Paolo.
away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
No, more than that. 5-6 years ago.
Absolute legend. You know, it's been so much fun. I enjoy talking to you a lot.
Thank you very
I
much.
wish you all the best.
Likewise.
And I will give you the last word. Anything you want to say to the audience, the viewers, people listening, watching, you get the last word.
Thank you very much.
Whatever you want to say.
What can I say? First of all, thank you very much. But
Most
first,
welcome.
even before thanking yourself, I should thank Saudi to give us this opportunity to stay here and to live here, because this is finally definitely the place where you enjoy the most. You know, because you have the perfect balance in between your professional life and your personal activities, and it's something that I wish everybody could experience it.
Appreciate these words. Thank you for saying that. I wish you all the best. Have a great, successful, peaceful, prosperous career. And
Inshallah,
inshallah, you know, invite me to your marriage when you and your fiance
Inshallah,
also.
again.
Inshallah, you know. And all the best. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
man.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening. Have a great day.